people that come from all walks of life that want to be part of the solution. They want to be part of the answer. How can we be involved to save species? Well, you can do that by joining us here at the World Center for Birds of Prey. And this place is that hub, that place for that synergy. Also for students, we host 5,000 school kids per year here, but in 2019, we turned away almost 1,200 students because we were at capacity. And so we've had those deep conversations about how we can increase capacity, how we can not say no to teachers when they call, but say, yes, come on up here, and we are going to engage your students about how science is done in the real world and how science can be used for good. We are also going to double our capacity. We are going to bring people, we're already on the map, and we are going to make this the best place to see conservation in action. I want to thank everybody here for daring us to dream bigger, to reach further. And I really want to thank Dirk and Patricia Kempthorne, who have really challenged us to see this place as the absolute best that we can possibly make it. And that is where we are aiming for. Another person that's inspired us and kept us on track sometimes is the president and CEO of the Peregrine Fund. His name is Dr. Rick Watson, good friend of mine. I want to introduce him, and he's going to say a few words. Thank you all for being here. That's your introduction.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Peregrine Fund's World Center for Birds of Prey. Thank you for joining us both in person and virtually through the internet. We really appreciate everybody who's joining us this morning in the courtyard of the Peregrine Fund's World Center for Birds of Prey. We're honored to welcome you to celebrate the groundbreaking of a new era in environmental education here in Boise and around the world. Now, one of the questions that our staff are asked most frequently by visitors is to understand the difference between the Peregrine Fund on the one hand and the World Center for Birds of Prey on the other. And this seems like the perfect opportunity to give you that answer. The Peregrine Fund was started in 1970 to save the peregrine falcon from imminent extinction in North America. We started at Cornell University, but when our needs there grew beyond the capacity of that facility, our dear friend and former board member, Molly Nelson, paved the path for the Peregrine Fund to move to Boise, Idaho in 1984. And for those of you who knew Molly, you'll know that paving new paths was a speciality of hers. 10 years later, in 1994, thanks to some incredibly passionate Idahoans like Velma Morrison, the Peregrine Fund's World Center for Birds of Prey opened our interpretive center, the facility we're standing in right now, to the public, giving visitors a unique opportunity to see a working conservation organization in action. Today, the World Center for Birds of Prey is the Peregrine Fund's educational hub for conservation projects all around the world. It's a unique and wonderful science resource for local students to bring science to life through the lens of raptor ecology and conservation. Today, we have conservation scientists on all 6 continents of the world, except for Antarctica. We partner with indigenous peoples, governments, other nonprofit organizations to develop sustainable economic drivers to keep lands and wildlife heritage intact for communities in far corners of the earth, from Madagascar to Mongolia and Panama to Pakistan. Through our scholarship program, students from countries all over the world have earned 141 advanced degrees, including 37 PhD degrees and 104 master's or equivalent degrees. Our graduates live and work in their home countries and contribute to the knowledge knowledge base of global raptor population health directed by the Peregrine Fund from this campus right here in Boise. The World Center for Birds of Prey is where the Peregrine Fund's stories of conservation success are shared and where we inspire conservation leaders of the future. And much like our original facility at Cornell University, the World Center for Birds of Prey has surpassed our wildest expectations in terms of interest and growth in visitorship. In a 5-year period, most recently, visitation nearly doubled. And we've had to turn away, as Kate mentioned, over 1,200 students a year from our grant-funded field trip program. Our goal is to give every Treasure Valley student a chance to fall in love with raptors and to see themselves as scientists. And that goal hatched a grand plan, a new addition to the World Center for Birds of Prey. This expansion includes a global raptor education center, a peregrine exhibit to tell the story of North America's first great conservation success, a hawk flight lab to show how corporate partnerships can solve conservation problems, an outdoor flight classroom to inspire students with up-close encounters with avian ambassadors, and of course, expanded parking to meet current and future visitor needs. This is all made possible by the generosity of many local businesses and individuals, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few of them. I'll begin with the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation with their initial grant 2 years ago that really got this ball rolling. Funzi, who adopted us as their beneficiary this year. And then, of course, Power Engineers and Power Foundation, who helped build our STEM education classroom. The Idaho STEM Action Center, Idaho Power, Suez, Boise Cascade, AJ and Susie Belukoff, thank you so much. The Ludwig Family Foundation, Janice Elsevier Trust, Patricia Ann Finley Estate, Lauren Dudley, Leo Faddis, Caddis Enterprises, the Harry W. Morrison Foundation, Gerhard Barbonas Foundation, Landscaping, and APLIC, which stands for the Avian Power Line Interaction Committee, just in case you didn't know. Horrocks Engineers, Jordan Wilkin Construction, and Hatch Design Architecture. You've all played an incredibly important and vital role in getting us to where we are right now. And of course, all of those of you who sponsored a brick, a bench, or a raptor perch for our new campus. And finally, I want to thank our incredible staff and volunteers who have spent countless hours developing the best place to see conservation in action, the World Center for Birds of Prey. Since opening our doors, we've hosted over 1 million visitors, and about half of those are school-aged children. Through this educational expansion, we will double our annual visitation from 50 to 100,000 a year, and double our free field trip program to serve up to 10,000 local students every year. This is a day the Peregrine Fund has been looking forward to for many, many years. We could not be more thrilled to share this day with you all here at the Peregrine Fund's World Center for Birds of Prey on the occasion of Earth Day 2021, a celebration of the Earth that was founded in 1970, the same year the Peregrine Fund was founded. Thank you all for joining us today, and I'll hand the mic over to Kate.
Okay, so we are I'm going to introduce our next speaker. My name is Erin Katzner. I am the Director of global engagement at the Peregrine Fund. And I have the great honor of introducing our board member, Dirk Kempthorne, who is also, he along with his wife, Patricia Kempthorne, are the co-chairs of our capital campaign. And we couldn't be more grateful for all the support and encouragement that they have given us. And I want to introduce Dirk. For those of you who may not know, he is the former US Secretary of the Interior. He is a former senator from Idaho and was Idaho's 30th governor. So we feel very fortunate to have Dirk on our team. And I'd like to hand the mic over to you, Dirk, to say a few words.
Erin, thank you so much. And Patricia is on this call as well. So we're with you virtually and remotely. But let me just say to Rick and Tate, thank you for the words which you have begun this magnificent day with, this Earth Day, where we're celebrating, which will be an amazing expansion of the education campus there at the World Center Birds of Prey. And Rick, you and your team are just outstanding. You mentioned Morley Nelson. Patricia and I remember fondly taking, when Heather and Jeff were small children, with Morley and Bill Barnum out onto the Snake River and having him point out all that was taking place with the raptors. And so the thrill that, fast forward a few years, and 2 years ago, we were able to take our children and our grandchildren to the World Center Birds of Prey. And this week I asked Brody, our 13-year-old, I said, Brody, do you remember when we went to the World Center Birds of Prey? And he says, oh yeah, Grandpa, it was so cool. I said, well, what do you remember? And he said, oh man, when the peregrine falcon flew, and then all the other things. And that's what is captivating about this location. That is what is captivating about this site, this education center. Kids love it. But now it is a top tier. And the reason I say that is to echo what Rick said, and that is, this is leading edge science. This is not where you simply come and you are taught the history of a species. This is a center where you're part of the future of the species, because with these scientists on the 6 continents throughout Earth, they're coming up with the solutions so that species can thrive. And when you consider the species of a raptor and the ecosystem that surrounds a raptor, it is for the benefit of everything, all species on this beautiful planet of Earth, based on the science that our scientists are doing with the indigenous people and with governments throughout the world. This is the epicenter of one of the greatest conservation laboratories in the world. So now, as we get ready for thousands upon thousands of additional students to come through this beautiful facility, I predict that among them will be some of those new scientists that will continue to find the solutions to enhance even further this magnificent Earth that we all call home. So Patricia and I are just so delighted to be part of this and to see that the reality is happening. The groundbreaking occurs, and you will now see, coming from that, the results of an expanded education center, this epicenter for the world, where leading edge science occurs. What a day, what a celebration, and we're proud to be part of it. Thank all of you for your support.
That was incredible, Dirk. Thank you so much. We wish you were here with us, but we're so glad that you could join us at least this way. And I think we are about to start the groundbreaking ceremony. So, and don't worry, we've saved a shovel for you, Dirk. So when you come back to Idaho, you can do some digging yourself if you like.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we are back on, everybody. So if you would please break ground on this expansion. I'm going to encourage the cameras to come over here, and we're going to turn around And
Do a picture.
the shovelers are gonna face this way, and then everybody else will be in the background, so kind of gather in. And we'll also get the water in the right space as well.
Well, I think as far as socially distanced groundbreakings go, that was pretty fun. Get a photo for posterity here.
Anybody that wants a picture, we'll film it.
Yeah, this is put it on there. Standing in the footprint of the new outdoor classroom. Thank you
Everybody
all.
Smile, not that anyone can tell. I can tell by your eyes.
All right. I think we've tortured them enough.
Oh, Aaron, you're muted.
Oh no. Well, I was just saying that I'm so glad that everybody got to join us for this first virtual hybrid event where we had both a virtual and an in-person event. And I'm super grateful that all of you came to the virtual part of it, and especially Dirk, that you joined us. I hope that all is going well in California and that you have a safe trip home.
Thank you very much. We'll be there in about 3 days.
Oh, good. Well, we can't wait to see you. All right. Take care, everybody.